Okay, we're live.
Okay, I just sent you all the link to the Google Doc. Hopefully it works.
Awesome. Yep, I just got it.
Thanks.
Hooray!
Yep, me too.
Thanks, Jenna.
So does someone want to start and just kind of briefly summarize the case? That way we kind of just refresh.
I'll just read what I have.
Yep.
I don't know how to say their last name. Cordum. So the Cordum family lives in Gaza. They are Palestinians who live in constant threat of Israeli bombs. Recently, Muhammad Cordum, I spelled that wrong that way. Anyway, age 7, was playing near the doorway to his home and was hit by rocket shrapnel. He was hurt but not killed. This event was like reliving another event 4 years earlier when another Cordum son was also 7 and was hit by a rocket at home. Only that son, Ahmed, died from his wounds. The family's father, Osama, has experienced health issues and job loss after the death of his son. The family survives on international assistance and help from Osama's older brother, Allah. I didn't put anything in there about the new baby. It's kind of an important thing, but
I think that's okay. It's just a brief summary. It's not every single thing.
yeah.
Thanks for summarizing that. So let's go down, unless anyone has anything to add to that. Let's go down to the second bullet point where it talks about listing any of the principles and concepts from the course that can be applied in offering help. So it looks like there's already 3 there. They have the mindfulness, the ABCX model, and the family typology model. Is there anything else besides those 3 that anyone else got down on their sheet? No.
I thought mood logs.
Mood logs. Can you guys edit it? Is it letting you?
It's not letting me edit, so I guess you can just type it for everyone.
What about if you click on open, does it?
Oh, maybe that's what I need to do. Give me a second. What do you want?
I just put mood logs on there. But has anybody else tried to
Perfect.
add anything? I think you need to click on.
Oh, it's gonna let me. Yeah, it's letting me edit now.
Okay.
Once it's open. Yeah. Okay, Lizzie, go pee pee, and then I'll give you some CD. Okay? Let me go potty. Did anybody else have anything for that they wanted to put in?
Another thing that I thought about, I think it would be super beneficial for the family to do kind of like the family councils that we learned about, just because I think each one of them have been affected either by, the rockets and even the death of the son or brother. So I think that would be important for them to sit down and talk together as a family.
Yeah, I agree. That's really good.
So we've got 5 there. Anyone else have another one that we want to put down for that?
Can you guys can see now that there's added stuff? Can everybody see the 5?
I can't see the added stuff.
I can't either.
I can't either.
Oh,
But that's okay. If you can see them, that's fine.
If you don't mind just typing, I think I'm okay just letting you.
cool.
That works. So I think we've got actually a good list right there. Let's move down to the third bullet point where it talks about list relevant risks or dangers that the family members face. So I really like the two that you have listed on there about the life and death risks of living in the war zone. And then, like you said, from the model that we just learned about, there's a lot of pileup of stressors that can add up and make things harder. What are some other things that you guys had listed for your risks and dangers?
One thing that I thought was that some of the family members might begin to perpetuate violence, making their lives even riskier.
Yeah, I like that. That's good. Yeah, we definitely can write that one down. Anyone else have anything else?
That was big then.
I think another risk that the family stands in need is just blame, where the father, I think especially where he's already lost one son, and then the second son, he kind of got hit the exact same spot. It said it was in the doorway. I feel like the parents or the father especially could put blame on himself, where it talks about how he had troubles with work and everything like that. He could blame himself for not maybe protecting his children or warning them or keeping them out of the doorway. And then I also feel like the one son that didn't die, he might have some, I don't know if I would self-blame, but just kind of like feelings like, how come I survived? You know what I mean? And where the father kind of struggles a lot with the first son passing away, the second son might feel like, you know, why did I survive that? And that could be hard for the family, for that member, him, like the son and themselves, but then also the family as a whole.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like guilt for surviving.
Guilt of surviving, yeah, that sounds better.
I think that's actually a real thing, survivor guilt.
Yeah.
Two more risks I thought of were, they kind of go along with each other, but the father's not working, and in that culture, men are really brought up to be the provider, and so I know that's going to be really difficult for the father to not be able to provide for his family. But going along with that, if something happened to his brother or the family's funding, they could be really destitute because they're just relying on generosity, and who knows, you know, if that could just be taken away from them.
Like shame from the father, feeling like he can't provide.
Guilt and yeah. Yeah, that's good.
So Mimi, just let us know if we're going too fast for typing purposes.
I've got it though.
Awesome. Okay, sounds good. Does anyone else have any other risks or dangers that they wanted to mention? No? Okay, let's go on then to the opportunities that are presented to this family as a result of this crisis. So there's some listed already here. So we've got international assistance that they talked about in the study, the help from his brother, and then they also got, another, I think it was another son, correct? Because they named him the same name as the brother who died. So those were all opportunities that were given to the family. Can you guys think of any other opportunities that you want to add to that list?
I think the only thing I would add is just the gratefulness of having the family, because although they lost a son, they had another son, and and then the other brother got hit, and it was like this poor family had already gone through so much loss, and now this other brother had almost the exact same thing happen, and it just like, for them in particular, since the nature of this class is the way it is, it's like being grateful for the family that they still had and bonding together more and more as a family based on what had happened to them.
Yeah, I also think another opportunity is because one of the readings talked about that sometimes the stress of just the situation can actually facilitate better communication between spouses. So that may be one of the opportunities, is that the spouses have an opportunity to get closer together and create a marriage that's a lot stronger just because they're facing so many trials and adversities.
Okay, wait, hold on just a second. I was texting with Betty Sue because she's trying to get on, and she says that it's like telling her that we're unavailable. So I told her to just call me, and we can just have her be on. Here she is.
Yep, that works.
On speakerphone. Okay. Hi, Betty Sue.
Hi, sorry.
Oh, technicalities, huh?
Yeah, you guys about done?
Well, no, we're not quite halfway. So you are fine. We were just talking about the one, we're on the bullet point of list relevant opportunities presented to the family as a result of the crisis.
Okay.
Did you happen to get the Google Doc?
I've got yours. I don't have it printed out in front of me right now.
Oh, that's,
I was looking at it.
yeah, that's fine. But so you can see what we're starting with. And then I'm just adding stuff that people say to it. So, okay, Jess, I think you just said something about that one. I'm sorry, I was not.
No, you're good. You're good. So basically, it's just the stress of this, just living there, and then the death of their son, and whatnot, provides the opportunity for the spouses to gain a deeper relationship with one another, and increase their communication between one another as well.
Okay. Family crucible.
Mhm. Yeah. Does anyone else have another opportunity that they want to add to this list?
I just thought that whenever someone goes through intense trials, they have opportunities for personal growth. And I just thought that each of the family members probably, I don't know what their personal growth would be here from what we read, but I just thought they all had opportunities for personal growth as well.
Okay, got that one too. I just put each family member can experience their own personal growth.
Perfect. Anyone else before we move on to the next one?
Betty Sue, did you have anything on that one?
Well, I'm not sure what to discuss, but as far as opportunities, I think they feel in a different line that they could use the loss of the child to realize the value of each family member. I don't know where you're at in the discussion, but as far as opportunities go, it seems like they were all focusing more on the loss than what was in the present, and the parents, instead of focusing on the future college graduation of their current children, they were all focusing on the graduation of the child that they lost. So they can use this as an opportunity to spend more quality time with each other, focusing on their current family instead of what they've lost.
Very good.
Is that on the wrong track?
No, that's perfect. That's perfect.
They could also use this time to learn how to grieve and accept their situation, since this is such a normal event in their lives. They're going to experience more loss, most likely. And as long as they're focusing on what they're losing and having that anger and fear, and their quality of life and relationships is not going to improve.
Great. Can you guys hear her okay through the speakerphone?
Yeah, we can hear just fine.
Okay.
Awesome.
A lot of context stuff that I don't see.
Wait, say that again?
Out of context of what you've been talking about, that is what I've got.
Okay, yeah, that was great. Yep, I added those to the list. So that's great.
Okay.
Awesome, guys. Okay, so let's move on to let's talk about the relationship consideration. So there's the first one talks about the wife or mother. It doesn't specifically say she's still around, but it doesn't say that she's not around either. And then the second one was that I thought was really interesting was the birth of the new son, that they named him the same name as the older brother that died. So I think, like it says on this Google Doc, he's got, pressure to fill the big shoes of his older brother, as he grows up. So did anyone else have anything to add for the new baby or any other considerations that they want to talk about?
What did she say about the new baby, the brother with the same name?
Oh, she was just kind of rehashing what was already on the Google Doc that you've got in front of you.
Okay. All right.
I think another point, another consideration that we could look at is the brother who got injured but didn't pass away. His relationship with the new brother, the new baby brother, just because he might feel a little bit resentment or I don't know, even a little bit of awkwardness. I think just because he knew his brother that passed away, and then all of a sudden he's got this new brother with the same name, so he might feel a little, I don't know, a little confused.
Yeah, that can be.
And I just think that is a factor. The baby, the younger one that carries that name, is always going to struggle to find its own identity and individuality, and it would be interesting to see the father's relationship with him if every time he looks at him, they're all thinking of the older brother because he carries the name.
Yes.
I think that it's the anger is a heavy load for all these children to carry. It's like the father's comment that they will never forget. The little boy may forget his injury, but he will never forget the loss of his brother. I think that's a heavy burden for all the children to carry, that no matter what they do or what they overcome, that they're always going to be reminded of that loss in that way. And that will affect their relationships. I think that they could resent the father or the parent in time. They may feel, the younger child may feel anger or resentment toward his older brother if he always has to feel like he has to live up to his reputation or his what he never. So there could be a lot of resentment and anger between the parents and for the parents from the children.
Yeah.
You already established that.
Yeah, it sure seems a very unfortunate thing for those parents to do that. I can kind of see that it's an honor, and they're wanting to remember that child and keep him in their life. But gosh, that's just a twisted way to do it.
Maybe if it had been years down the road.
The sister, we don't hear much about her except for that she needs anger management, and for the brother who is so angry against the Israelis, it's become personal to him. I'm sure that the people who are attacking them it's not personal to them, but it's become personal to him because now he feels anger to avenge his brother. Loss be the focus. It is creating a lot of anger, maybe unnecessarily. Parent relationships. There's so much we just don't know about his family.
Yeah, it's pretty short case study. I don't even recall the sister. How old was she?
It didn't give an age.
Oh, okay.
It said that she receiving psychiatric care for anger.
Oh, that's right. I kind of felt I was kind of unclear as to whether that was the brother who was helping them. I kind of got the impression that was his daughter, but yeah, there was not a lot of information given.
Yeah, the brother who was helping them had a son who was injured in the same attack as the child who died.
Yes.
It did say that the boys are more important, more valuable
Yes.
than the girls. I think we'd have to know more about their belief systems and the typology of their families to understand exactly what the relationships are and what could be risks of the relationships. That doesn't help. Sorry.
Nicole, did you have something that you were starting to say?
I might have, but I can't remember.
That's fine. I just thought I heard your voice. So does anybody have anything else to add on that one, or should we go on?
I think we should just move on to the next one. I think we've got a pretty good list there. So the next one, it talks about recommended coping strategies. So it looks like maybe we've got some good ones there. The mindfulness, exercises, regular meet with a counselor. They can utilize the family councils to help each other share their feelings and cope. So is there other coping strategies that this family could use?
I just thought that if there was some sort of training for employment for the father, that would be a good coping strategy for the whole family.
Jenna,
just having had a husband who's been unemployed hard. I think it would be good if the father could find some sort of training for a job he could do, if there was anything he could do, based on his limitations.
It keeps cutting out like the critical things that you're saying about the father. So can you just start over on that, please? I can hear you. It just kind of like cut out on those most important words.
I just thought it would be good for the family if the father could find some sort of employment or training for employment. You got that?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I think kind of maybe something to add is the family councils are a really great idea, but I think couples counseling, although we don't hear much about the mom, couples counseling would really help their family unit as well. Just to like what we're talking about with him not having employment and all this other stuff. Like he needs to feel his usefulness as a man, and I know as like a married person sometimes that stems from the wife. Like showing him that he's important regardless of what's going on in their lives. So bonding together as a couple I think would really help the family out.
So are you talking about couples counseling, like the couple with a counselor, or just the couple between themselves?
No, I think the couple with a counselor as well as having the family.
Okay. Yes, got it.
You do have maybe the father receiving individual.
Okay, yeah.
For his grief and his help and his
Yeah, he seems to be the one hit the hardest.
depression.
Is there anything else that anyone else wants to add, or should we move on to the next question?
The only other thing I thought was we don't hear much about Mother, and I bet a lot of that is because of culture. She probably wasn't allowed to be interviewed. But I wonder if there was some sort of women's group or women's circle or some sort of support for the mom And if the sister isn't getting psychological help anymore, like we don't really know what is going on there, but the women probably need a lot of support also, even though it's not really acknowledged in the article we read.
I wonder, I'm feeling like that would be a really good thing to add at the bottom with the additional resources.
So
What do
that's
you-
a huge
what do you
issue.
think about that?
Or special considerations too.
Yeah, and also going along with those, probably the bottom three right there, and what Jenica just said, the family, in the article it talked about how, you know how he said, like, well, you're at war, you know? Everyone suffers, like, what do you expect, the enemy to bring you, like, food and a drink or something like that?
Yeah.
I bet a lot of their neighbors or the people in their community have had loss of people in their family or injuries like that. So I'm sure, well, I would hope there was some sort of support group within the community who are facing those same types of challenges.
Right.
And if there weren't one, I think it would be a good idea for the family to even start one, whether you started off with like your immediate family or close friends and then have it go out more, because then the bigger your group is with like the resources or the people that support you, knowing that someone else is going through the same thing you are, like we talked about all week, it gives you comfort, like they're doing it, I can do it too. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's good.
To have them know they're not alone.
Yeah.
Like, although they're in the midst of war, like they have all of this stuff together that they can help one another work on.
That's good. Well, maybe that would be good under their recommendations to
Yeah, probably.
on the next section.
Yeah, I think it would fit really well under the next section about like the recommendation of supporting and involved parties.
Well, there
Yeah.
you go. Now we're done.
Does anyone else, because we've got a pretty good list actually for those recommendations, do we have anything else that we want to add to that, the last bullet point? Or does anyone else have anything else to add for the additional resources? I thought those are really good. I like the two websites that you provided. I've never heard about the book, but the websites like are a good resource for the family to use.
Yeah, I was looking at those.
That is such a good book, you guys. You should all know about that one. It's actually for, well, it's for anybody, but it's written like a children's picture book, and it's like this kind of grandma-ish person, and it's very widely applicable to any kind of grief because it doesn't go into any specifics, but it just has the beautiful pictures and just how this grandma lady mixes her tears into her soup. And oh, it was given to me when my mom died a few years ago, and I have four of them on my shelf, so that if like we have a death in our ward, or you know, some like in our neighborhood we had a dad that died about a year or so ago, and I gave their family one, and it is really such a great book. So just so you know.
Awesome.
Yeah, I don't have anything else to add on the recommendations or the other resources. Does anyone else have anything, or is that a pretty good list that we've got?
I'm adding the women's group down there also, so there will be 4 things. Betty, so do you have anything on that additional resources?
You know, I don't have anything that you haven't already talked about.
Okay.
This is the mother that we didn't really know much about.
I know, it's really interesting how she's just totally left out of the picture. But in a cultural context, that does make sense.
It probably affects their culture. Probably is affecting a lot of their reactions and their beliefs. so long.
Awesome, guys. Well, it looks like we've got a pretty good document. I think we've got every one of the points down. Before we, I guess, close this little meeting, is there anything else that anyone else wants to add?
I just would like to say that I'm really kind of disappointed that they chose something that's so remote for us. I know they did say that little caveat that even though this might seem so unlikely for any of your families, it's important to realize so much of the world is at war. But still, I'm just disappointed.
Yeah, yeah, I know what you're saying.
I kind of had. I know refugees where I live. We have tons of refugees,
Yeah.
and like Syrian refugees, so it's kind of the same culture, same religion, and so I liked it because it's the kind of people that I'm working with and helping and doing things with. So it's somewhat remote, but you never know when you're going to come across that.
Yeah.
The one thing I found difficult right from the approach was that, the family were to come up with ways to help the family, but they weren't seeking for help. It seemed like, the father wasn't asking for any help. He was very much, that's how it was, and that's how they were going to be, and so in trying to help them, you really have to figure out, like, the culture and the beliefs and what they don't want help, maybe that's how they want to be. To convince them that they need help in order to strengthen their family and help each other would be a challenge.
Yeah, that's a really good point, where it's something that's so long-standing. Like, there was 4 years since the boy died, right? So they've been living in this situation for years, and it would definitely skew the whole sense of normality. And for us,
I can't find them. We might need to find them.
What was that, Jennifer?
Oh, my kids are sorry. I'm divided. I didn't know I wasn't on mute. Sorry.
That's fine. I thought you were adding. That's fine. I just think it's interesting that sometimes when we can see that something is not right, that certainly they need help, but it's their normal, and I don't know, just different perspectives.
I'm thinking that when I had a loss, it was so hard to focus on what was in front of me and what I had, and my kids kept saying, "Mom, it's okay, it's gone, but we're here, we're just shouting at me, pay attention to us." And just the piece of me was missing so greatly that it was very difficult and people say, get over it. So if you went in and told that father, get over it. I think that would be very offensive to the whole family, because it doesn't seem like that was their focus. Like someone had mentioned earlier, they placed the son in a position of trying to honor him, but it was really destroying the rest of them.
Yeah. Oh, life. Such hard stuff. Okay, so it looks like Jess's computer died, right? Did you guys just get that text too?
Oh.
So I'm not sure what that means, since she's the one that was recording it. It does still say live. Willie, did you just say something?
I'm recording.
Oh, you're recording. Okay.
So I will, because we need to include this link in this document, I'll put it in the document, and let me know if it shows up for you.
Okay, Whitley, did you say something? I saw your mouth moving, but you were on mute.
I was just saying that Jenica recorded it, but I forgot I was on mute too.
I was on mute trying to say it too.
No problem. Okay, so what if, Jenica, should I? Okay, so tell me again. You're sending me the link.
I
Is that
put
what
it in the Google Doc, but did it show up for you?
did you put it at the bottom or at the top?
At the very bottom.
Nope.
Okay, I'm gonna just email it to you then. I just want to make sure it's Mimi Porter that I'm emailing it to.
Yep.
Perfect. I just don't want everyone to get it. Okay, I guess you guys can all have it, but
Watch it on our downtime.
yeah, right.
Here,
There we go.
come here, say hi.
Okay, I am camping, and so please check now and make sure because I will not be near the internet. I just came back for this.
Oh, wow.
Dedication. Get that degree.
That's right. My kids are like, when are you done school for the summer?
Like, shh.
One of the summer session courses.
I was going to, but I'm not because my kids need me to be home, so.
They didn't offer what I needed.
Yeah, they don't offer very many. I'm signed up for the English class, the English 301. I think it's 301. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do it though.
I wanted to get it all done before, because if I could do a bunch during the summer, then I could be done with school before my baby came, but that's not going to happen now.
When are you due?
December 25th, believe it or not.
Really? Oh.
Yeah.
That's great.
So, I'm having a Christmas baby, one way or another.
Well, that's exciting. Okay, so I think we're done. So
Did you
Jen
get the link?
Well, were you texting it or emailing it?
I emailed it.
Okay. Let me look on email.
I can send it again. I just need to know.
Yeah, I don't see it.
All right, I'll go back into my email. Give me a second. Okay, it says it's sent, but
But we're still live to that.
I'll take us off live.